Have you ever felt trapped by your own thoughts, unable to break free from the burdens of the past or the anxieties of the future? This sense of entrapment, common to all of us, often stems from our attachments and expectations. Buddhism offers profound insights into breaking these cycles, teaching us how to let go of what weighs us down to find inner peace and true freedom. Letting go is not about giving up or disengaging from life. Instead, it is about embracing the present moment, accepting what is, and trusting that everything unfolds as it should. By exploring these lessons, we can learn to cultivate a sense of detachment, compassion, and resilience. Let's delve into the transformative power of letting go and discover how it can liberate us from suffering. Foster genuine connections, and open the door to lasting contentment. Release expectations, free yourself from the trap of assumptions. Our expectations shape how we experience the world. When reality doesn't align with the idealized scenarios we create in our minds, the result is often frustration and disappointment. Buddhism teaches that these expectations, our attachment to specific outcomes, are a source of suffering. We imagine how events should unfold, how people should behave, or how life should treat us. When those imagined realities fail to materialize, we feel let down, resentful, or even anxious. By letting go of these preconceived notions, we allow ourselves to experience life as it is, rather than as we wish it to be. Letting go of expectations doesn't mean abandoning goals or aspirations. Instead, it means approaching them with flexibility and openness. It involves accepting that circumstances may change and understanding that there are often paths and opportunities we never anticipated. This mindset fosters resilience and inner peace, freeing us from the constant pressure of controlling every detail of our lives. Unchain yourself from the past. The past has an undeniable grip on many of us. Memories of pain, regret, or nostalgia tether us to events that no longer serve us. This attachment prevents us from fully engaging with the present moment and finding peace in the here and now. Buddhism teaches that clinging to the past is like carrying a heavy load that weighs us down, hindering our ability to move forward. By releasing this attachment, we open ourselves to healing and growth. This doesn't mean denying the significance of past events but acknowledging them without letting them dominate our thoughts or define our future. This practice fosters a sense of flexibility and adaptability. By letting go of the past, we become open to new possibilities, learning opportunities, and fresh perspectives. The present moment offers an infinite number of chances to live fully, unburdened by what came before. Let go of fear and anxiety about the future. Fear of the unknown often keeps us from fully embracing the present. We obsess over what might happen, trying to predict or control outcomes. This fixation on the future can create overwhelming anxiety and rob us of joy. Buddhism emphasizes that the future is inherently uncertain, and no amount of worry or planning can eliminate this unpredictability. By letting go of our fear, we can trust in the natural flow of life and find peace in knowing we have the inner resilience to face whatever comes our way. This practice of surrendering control doesn't mean we abandon responsibility or stop making plans. Rather, it invites us to approach life with openness and adaptability, recognizing that we cannot dictate every outcome. In embracing this uncertainty, we allow ourselves to be present, finding contentment in each moment. Release grudges and bitterness. Holding on to resentment or anger is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to suffer. Grudges and bitterness hurt us far more than they hurt the people we direct them toward. Buddhism teaches that forgiveness is not about condoning wrongdoing but about liberating ourselves from the toxic effects of negative emotions. When we forgive, we free ourselves from the chains of resentment and open our hearts to compassion and understanding. Forgiveness is as much for ourselves as it is for others. It allows us to move forward with peace of mind. Self-forgiveness is equally vital. Often, we are harsher on ourselves than anyone else. Letting go of self-blame and regret fosters self-compassion and allows us to grow from our mistakes. Surrender the need for control. The desire to control every aspect of our lives often leads to stress and unhappiness. Life is unpredictable, and our attempts to control the uncontrollable only create frustration. Buddhism teaches us to surrender this need for control, embracing the natural flow of life instead. Letting go doesn't mean becoming passive or indifferent. It means focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, emotions, and actions, while accepting that external circumstances are often beyond our influence. This shift in focus allows us to navigate challenges with clarity and peace. Unburdened by the impossible task of trying to control everything, stop reliving painful experiences. Many of us replay painful experiences in our minds, trapping ourselves in cycles of suffering. These repetitive thoughts prevent healing and keep us from enjoying the present. Buddhism teaches that letting go of this rumination is essential for emotional well-being. By practicing mindfulness and anchoring ourselves in the present moment, we can break free from these patterns. This doesn't mean ignoring or suppressing our emotions but rather accepting them and then releasing their hold on us. In doing so, we reclaim our power and create space for joy and fulfillment, release the need to fix others. Do you often find yourself trying to change or fix the people around you? While the intention may come from a place of care, this mindset can lead to frustration and strained relationships. Buddhism teaches us to respect the autonomy of others and recognize that each person is on their own unique journey. When we let go of the need to fix others, we redirect our energy toward our own growth. This approach fosters healthier connections because it replaces judgment with acceptance. Instead of viewing others as projects to be corrected, we begin to see them as individuals with their own lessons to learn and paths to follow. Supporting others is not the same as trying to control them. By offering encouragement and creating a space of compassion, we allow others to grow at their own pace while maintaining our own peace of mind. Transform negative self-beliefs. How often do we let self-criticism and negative beliefs about ourselves define our actions and emotions? These harmful patterns limit our potential and keep us from experiencing true happiness. Buddhism encourages us to challenge these misconceptions and embrace our intrinsic worth. By practicing self-compassion, we can begin to replace harsh judgments with kindness. This involves recognizing our imperfections without letting them overshadow our value. Accepting ourselves as we are creates a foundation for personal growth and fulfillment. Self-acceptance doesn't mean complacency, it's a starting point for genuine transformation. When we let go of damaging self-beliefs, we open ourselves to new possibilities and find the courage to pursue a more authentic and fulfilling life. Walk away from harmful relationships. Toxic relationships can drain our energy, diminish our self-worth, and keep us stuck in cycles of negativity. While it can be difficult to let go of relationships that no longer serve our well-being, Buddhism emphasizes the importance of creating space for healthy and nurturing connections. Walking away from harmful relationships is not an act of selfishness, it is an act of self-care. By detaching ourselves from negative influences, we create room for relationships built on mutual respect, love, and understanding. This practice requires courage and clarity. It involves recognizing when a relationship is causing harm and having the strength to prioritize our mental and emotional health. Letting go of toxic relationships allows us to grow and thrive in an environment of positivity and support. Free yourself from the weight of justifying decisions. How often do we cling to the past as a way of explaining or justifying our current choices? While reflecting on past experiences can be valuable, using them as a crutch to validate our actions can limit our ability to embrace new possibilities. Buddhism teaches that our past does not define us. What matters most is our ability to be present and open to change. Letting go of the need to justify ourselves based on past events allows us to act with greater freedom and authenticity. It encourages us to trust in our decisions without being tethered to outdated narratives. By freeing ourselves from this attachment, we can approach life with a fresh perspective, unburdened by the stories we tell ourselves about who we are or who we need to be. The transformative practice of letting go is not a one-time act. It is a continuous practice that unfolds throughout our lives. By embracing the principles of acceptance, forgiveness, and detachment, we create space for joy, peace, and growth. Each moment becomes an opportunity to release what no longer serves us and connect with the present. The wisdom of letting go, as taught in Buddhism, empowers us to face life's uncertainties with courage and resilience. It allows us to live authentically, free from the weight of unnecessary attachments and expectations. As you explore this path, remember that letting go is not about loss but about liberation. It is an invitation to discover the freedom that comes from embracing life as it is, a journey filled with endless possibilities for growth, connection, and peace. Embracing uncertainty, finding freedom in letting go. Life's unpredictability can often feel overwhelming. We crave certainty, striving to control outcomes and minimize surprises. Yet, in attempting to orchestrate every aspect of life, we set ourselves up for stress and disappointment. Buddhism offers a powerful antidote, accepting the impermanence and uncertainty inherent in existence. This acceptance does not imply passivity. Instead, it invites us to shift our focus from external events to our internal responses. When we embrace uncertainty, we stop resisting life's natural flow. By relinquishing the need to know and control, we cultivate a sense of trust in the unfolding of events. This trust liberates us from the constant pressure of anticipation. It allows us to experience life with curiosity and openness rather than fear. Living in the present moment, untethered by what might happen next, becomes a source of profound peace and freedom. Release the cycle of overthinking. Overthinking can entrap us in a web of doubt and indecision. Replaying scenarios, analyzing every detail, or obsessing over outcomes can consume our mental energy and prevent us from moving forward. Buddhism teaches us to quiet the mind and let go of this incessant cycle. The practice of mindfulness helps us break free from overthinking. By focusing on the present, our breath, sensations, or surroundings, we ground ourselves in the here and now. This practice redirects our attention away from endless rumination and into the clarity of the present moment. Letting go of overthinking doesn't mean ignoring important decisions or responsibilities. Instead, it involves recognizing when our thoughts are no longer productive and choosing to release them. This mental clarity fosters better decision-making and reduces the emotional toll of unnecessary worry. Cultivating non-attachment. Attachment lies at the root of much of our suffering. We attach ourselves to people, possessions, ideas, and outcomes, believing they will bring us happiness or security. However, Buddhism teaches that clinging too tightly to these attachments can lead to disappointment and pain when they inevitably change or are lost. Non-attachment does not mean indifference or a lack of care. Instead, It is about appreciating and engaging with life while remaining unattached to specific results or outcomes. This practice allows us to love and connect without fear of loss and to pursue goals without being paralyzed by failure. By cultivating non-attachment, we free ourselves from the endless cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. This freedom enables us to live more fully, appreciating each moment for what it is rather than what we wish it to be, accepting imperfection. In a world that often emphasizes perfection, we may struggle with feelings of inadequacy or frustration when life doesn't meet our high standards. Buddhism teaches that imperfection is not something to be feared or avoided but embraced as an integral part of life. By letting go of the need for perfection, we allow ourselves to find beauty in the imperfect. This mindset encourages us to focus on progress rather than perfection and to celebrate our efforts rather than lament our shortcomings. It fosters a sense of gratitude and contentment, even in challenging times. Accepting imperfection also extends to others. Recognizing that everyone is flawed allows us to approach relationships with greater compassion and understanding. It creates space for authentic connections, free from unrealistic expectations, the joy of simplicity. Letting go is not limited to emotional or mental burdens, it also includes simplifying our physical and material lives. Accumulating possessions, chasing wealth, or striving for status often distracts us from what truly matters. Buddhism reminds us that simplicity can be a source of profound joy. By releasing the desire for excess, we free ourselves from the stress of acquisition and maintenance. This practice does not mean renouncing all material comforts but rather prioritizing what genuinely contributes to our well-being. Simplicity allows us to focus on experiences, relationships, and moments that bring genuine fulfillment. As we let go of unnecessary clutter, we create room for what truly enriches our lives. This clarity of purpose fosters a deeper sense of contentment and peace. The healing power of forgiveness. Forgiveness is a cornerstone of the practice of letting go, and its transformative effects extend far beyond the person being forgiven. Whether directed toward others or ourselves, forgiveness is about liberation, freeing ourselves from the anger, resentment, and pain that keep us trapped in suffering. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harm or forgetting the past. It's a conscious choice to release the grip that negative emotions hold on us. By forgiving, we reclaim our inner peace, breaking free from the mental and emotional chains of bitterness. Self-forgiveness is equally critical. Often, we are our harshest critics, holding on to guilt and shame that prevent us from growing and healing. Letting go of self-condemnation allows us to learn from our mistakes and embrace a more compassionate relationship with ourselves. Practicing forgiveness opens our hearts to compassion, fostering stronger relationships and greater emotional well-being. It reminds us that letting go is not about weakness but about strength, the strength to rise above pain and choose peace. Embracing change. Change is a constant in life, yet many of us resist it, clinging to the familiar out of fear or comfort. This resistance often leads to stress and unhappiness as we struggle against the inevitable. Buddhism teaches us to embrace change as a natural and necessary part of life. Letting go of resistance involves accepting life's impermanence. When we acknowledge that everything, relationships, experiences, possessions, will eventually transform or fade, we can approach change with grace rather than fear. This acceptance enables us to adapt and grow with each new chapter of life. Embracing change also allows us to let go of outdated patterns, beliefs, or habits that no longer serve us. By doing so, we create space for new opportunities, insights, and connections. Change becomes a source of growth rather than a cause for suffering, finding liberation through letting go, the teachings of Buddhism offer a timeless roadmap to freedom from suffering through the art of letting go. Whether it's expectations, past wounds, future anxieties, or unhealthy attachments, the practice of releasing these burdens opens the door to inner peace, joy, and resilience. Letting go is not about abandoning life's richness but about experiencing it more fully. By shedding what no longer serves us, we cultivate a deeper connection with the present moment and discover the freedom to live authentically. As you journey through the practice of letting go, remember that it is a continuous process. Each small act of release brings you closer to a life of clarity, compassion, and liberation. In the wisdom of letting go lies the key to finding harmony within yourself and the world around you. Thank you for watching until the end. What are your thoughts on the lessons of letting go? Have you tried incorporating any of these practices into your life? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your perspective matters. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more insights like this.